Hello everyone. Today I will introduce the electron microscope and its importance in earth sciences. An electron microscope is a scientific instrument that uses electrons instead of light to produce highly magnified images. Compared to ordinary light microscopes, electron microscopes provide much higher resolutions and allow scientists to observe extremely tiny structures in great detail. In earth sciences, electron microscopes are very important because they help researchers study rocks, minerals, fossils, soils, and other earth materials at the microscopic level. Scientists can examine the texture, composition, and structure of these materials more accurately. The electron microscope can also help in identifying minerals, analyzing environmental pollution particles, and studying geological formations. It is widely used in geology, environmental science, and even planetary science research. Overall, the electron microscope is a powerful tool that improves our understanding in earth materials and processes.
Electron microscopes are considered one of the most important scientific instruments because they provide detailed information about the structure, composition, and properties instruments widely used in physics. They are used in many scientific fields. In this presentation, I will explain why is it relevant as a scientific instrument, how electron microscope are considered one of the most important scientific instruments because in physics, electron microscope demonstrate the wave nature of electron and the relationship between the wavelength and resolution. They also help scientists study atoms, crystals, and nanoparticles. There are two main types of electron microscope. First, transmission electron microscope or TEM. TEM passes through an extremely thin sample of revealed internal structure. 2. Scanning electron microscope or SEM. SEM scans electrons across the surface of a sample to produce detailed three-dimensional images. In earth science, the scanning SEM is more commonly used because it provides excellent surface images of minerals and rock structures. Electron microscope consists of several important compartments. Electron gun. Located at the top of the microscope, it produces electrons by heating a tungsten filament or using a field emission source. Anode accelerates the electrons using a high voltage, typically between 1 kV and 30 kV for SEM and much higher for TEM. Electromagnetic condenser lenses focus the electron beam into a very fine spot. Vacuum chamber removes air so electrons can travel without colliding with gas molecules. Specimen stage holds and positions the sample. Objective lens provides the main magnification and forms the first image. Scanning coils moving the electron beams across the sample surface. Detectors collect signals such as secondary electron and backscattered display and computer system. Convert the detected signals into image for analysis. The working process begins when the electron gun emits electron. The anode accelerates this electron to high speed. Condenser lenses then focus the electron into a narrow beam. The beam passes through the vacuum chamber and reaches the sample. In SEM, the beam scans over the surface of the sample. This interaction releases secondary electron and backscattered electron. Detectors collect this signal and convert them into electrical signals. Finally, the computer processes the signal and produces a high-resolution image.
Now, I will discuss some real-world implementations of electron microscopes in earth sciences. First, electron microscopes are used for mineral identifications and analysis. Scientists can study the composition and crystal structure of minerals in rocks with very high accuracy. Second, they are used to study volcanic ash and rocks. Researchers can observe tiny particles produced during volcanic eruptions to better understanding volcanic activities and potential hazards. Third, electron microscopes help in fossil and microfossil examination. Very small fossils that cannot be clearly seen using normal microscopes can be analyzed in detail. In environmental science, electron microscopes are used to analyze soil and pollution particles. This helps scientists identify contaminants and study their effects on the environment. They are also important in oil and gas exploration. Geologists use electron microscopes to study rock pores and mineral formation to locate natural resources. Lastly, electron microscopes are used in planetary science and meteorite research. Scientists examine meteorites and samples from space missions to learn more about the Earth and other planets. These examples show how electron microscopes play an important role in many areas of Earth science and research and industry.
Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Today I will present to you the potential benefits of and challenges of electron microscopes in earth sciences. First, let us take a look at the benefits. One major benefit of electron microscope is their extremely high magnification and resolution. Unlike normal light microscopes, electron microscopes can magnify objects up to millions of times. This allows scientists to observe tiny particles and structures inside rocks, minerals, and fossils that are invisible to the naked eye. Because of this, researchers can study Earth materials in much greater detail. The second benefit is accurate mineral and rock analysis. In earth sciences, scientists use electron microscopes to identify the composition and texture of rocks and minerals. This helps geologists understand how rocks were formed and how they change over time due to heat, pressure, or environmental conditions. Another important benefit is that electron microscopes help scientists gain a better understanding of Earth processes. Researchers can examine microscopic cracks, crystal structures, and sediment particles. These observations help explain natural processes such as erosion, weathering, tectonic plate movement, and volcanic activity. As a result, scientists can better understand how the Earth changes over time. Electron microscopes are also very useful in fossil and environmental studies. Scientists use them to study microfossils, which are extremely tiny fossils that provide information about ancient climates and environments. In addition, electron microscopes can detect pollutants and harmful particles in soil or water, helping with environmental monitoring and protection. Another advantage is elemental and chemical analysis. Some electron microscopes, especially scanning electron microscopes or SEMs, equipped with EDS technology, can identify the chemical elements inside a sample. This makes scientific investigations more accurate and reliable. However, despite these advantages, electron microscopes also has several challenges. The first challenge is the high cost. Electron microscopes are very expensive to buy, maintain, and repair. Laboratories and universities need large budgets to operate them. The second challenge is that they require skilled operators. Scientists and technicians need special training because the instrument is very sensitive and complex. Incorrect handling can damage the sample or produce inaccurate results. Another challenge is complicated sample preparation. Samples often need to be very thin, dry, or coated with conductive materials before observation. This preparation process can take a long time and requires careful handling. Electron microscopes are also large instruments that consume a lot of energy. They require special laboratory conditions, including vacuum systems and vibration control, to function properly. Lastly, the powerful electron beam can sometimes damage delicate samples, especially fragile geological materials or biological specimens.
Next, I will discuss about several future development and innovation in electron microscopy. The first development is the use of artificial intelligence or AI and machine learning. This technology can automatically identify mineral and microfossil from electron microscope image. They can also analyze and classify probe texture much faster than manual method. This is especially useful because earth science studies often involve hundreds or even thousands of images. By using AI, scientists can reduce human error and save their time and obtain more consistent and reliable results. The second development is higher resolution and 3D imaging. Feature scanning electron microscope or SEM and transmission electron microscope or TEM are being designed with improved resolution, allowing scientists to observe even smaller features in geological samples. In addition, electron tomography can reconstruct a series of images into three-dimensional model of a mineral structure. This enables researchers to study pores, fractures, and crystal defects in greater detail, which is important for understanding rock formation, fluid movement, and material. The third development is electron microscopy, or also known as EM. In this technique, samples are rapidly frozen to preserve their natural structure. This is particularly useful for studying hydrated mineral, clay particle, and biological material found in sediment. Since the sample remain close to its signal state, scientists can obtain more accurate information about delicate structure that might otherwise be altered during normal preparation method. In conclusion, electron microscopy is an essential tool in earth science, enable scientists to observe mineral, rocks, fossil, and soil at extremely high magnification and resolution, revealing detail that cannot be seen using a light microscope. Techniques such as scanning electron microscopy or SEM and transmission electron microscopy or TEM provide valuable information about morphology, chemical composition, and internal structure of geological material. This helps researchers better understand the properties, formation process, and history of Earth's material. Overall, microscopy has greatly advanced the field of the earth science and continues to be an important technique for studying our planet in greater detail.